Great episode today. Talked to Connor Dolan, aka Harrington.wav on SoundCloud. I like his music a lot. I enjoy his music a lot. It's cool when someone's been locked in on something for a long time. This is a common theme in my podcast. I love self-actualized people, and he's a happy, well-adjusted young man. Great conversation. Can't wait to share it with you. I mean, we really explained most of it in the first few minutes, so I don't have to say too much here, but I have the habit of making an intro. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
The mic was off. Is your mic off?
Oh. Wow. That is genius, my friend.
15 years in the business.
4 years, actually, of podcasting. But now we should be good. Give me 2 seconds. The other thing is, this is the second podcast I've done with this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm still, I remember I put in the terabyte SD card, and this thing was not ready for a terabyte SD card. So it's we didn't save anything from that 2 hours. You just talked to somebody. So I was like, oh my god, it's gone. It's not there. And I was I brought it home and it was all there. So that's all cool. And
so is it on now?
Yeah, we're rolling right now. Okay,
cool.
And for some reason, mine sounds louder than yours. But I'm the type that thinks he wins arguments by there. I turned it down a little bit. I'm the type that thinks I won the argument by
talking louder.
Yeah, that's why I like comedy, is because I have a microphone and I can just yeah, you know what I'm saying, just screaming pretty much. But you want to introduce it's Harrington, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the name that I go by. It's my middle name.
Harrington.wav. I actually go by my middle name on stage too, Tyler Leland, because Levesque is my last name, and I don't want to explain a silent S to people. You know what I'm saying? We're not in France, so they don't get it. Yeah,
well, my actual name is Connor Dolan, and
fully doxed.
The Dolan.
So brave.
Yeah.
Let me turn on the camera real quick. Keep explaining yourself.
The Dolan side is a very small group of people, and the Harrington side is a very large group of people. So I kind of it. We can ignore the camera. Just gonna be there. It made more sense to me to represent that, and also I just think Harrington is a cool name. It's a town in Ireland, and that goes all the way back. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of history.
Yeah, also my middle name is Leland, and that's the psychiatrist that introduced my parents in group therapy, so it's a funny thing too. You know
that's really funny,
it's weird that first name needs to be something generic everyone calls him. Last name is all the ancestral trauma.
Right.
Middle names where they actually get creative and have fun with it. You know what I'm saying?
Something meaningful, yeah.
So you make music. I listened to your demo on SoundCloud. Thank you for not rapping. I really like your genre of music you make. You know what I'm saying? I meet a lot of rappers, and it seems like all the glitz and the glamour, everyone wants to do that, but your shit is super cool. The first one's the one I like the most. It's kind of a more aggressive than the second one.
Yeah, the faster one. It's called Balance.
Yeah. And you can check all those out on SoundCloud, Harrington.wav, which is a cool thing. I like that most artists are doing. Mark Little, another guy I interviewed, it's .wave is a good tagline to let people know you make music, because you actually got to be in the click to understand that's a wave file. That's how we send the shit. Yeah,
I started doing that a long time ago too, and I've seen more and more of it, which is cool.
Yeah, it's you do something early and it catches on. It's it's nice. It's okay, I'm hitting the right vein on that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So how long have you been playing guitar and making music?
Well, I started learning when I was 9, and then I switched to kind of focus on bass for a while. I played bass primarily for a good 2 years or so, and then I switched back to guitar.
I fucking love bass. I played it for I took 4 years of lessons on it, but never did anything with it.
Yeah.
But it's just such a fun to feel because the guitar, you're up front and making a melody, but more often the bass is very versatile because you can kind of bounce off the drums, or there's other people that kind of take the lead on it. And a bass solo is so much more distinct than a guitar solo, because every song is a guitar solo, and a bass taking over is nuts.
And the bass is the foundation. The bass is the guts. It's something that a lot of people don't notice until it's gone. Mm-hmm. And they don't even necessarily know that it's what's missing when it's not there.
Yeah, exactly. It's the total line between musicians and NPCs, or with a performance, a lot of people call them popcorn eaters. People just show up and enjoy it. They don't even know what's happening.
Yeah. Well, no, a lot of people, a lot of really good musicians will compare music to food a lot, and it's kind of not having bass or not having drums is not having the broth in a soup.
Oh yeah, dude, you just got a collection of fucking
guitars and vocals
meat.
Are the spinach and the kale and the carrots and shit, and the beef, but the broth and the
That's a very good metaphor that I've never heard before, actually.
Yeah.
So when did you start recording and performing your stuff? Because a lot of people, I remember even Guitar 1 class, is people are like,
No, you need to play it in front of people. This is a performance instrument.
Yeah.
You can like amuse yourself all day in your room and pretend to be a rock star, but
Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. Yeah. Which that even to get to the point of like feeling like a rock star, you still have to play in your room a lot. But,
exactly.
I lost the question. I'm sorry.
When did you start performing?
Yeah,
Like,
when I started performing. So I joined a music like lesson school when I was in like early middle school.
Yeah.
And they had a program that was like, they taught drum lessons, they taught bass lessons, they taught guitar lessons and vocal lessons. So they would just pick 4 students that were like relatively at the same age and skill level.
Yeah.
And they'd like pair us up in this like band program.
They make super groups.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, or starter groups, which is like a cool resource because it's like, that's half the battle a lot of the time is like finding people that are at the right level and that want to do it.
Oh, exactly. Because like I said, I played bass and I just had no one to work with, and like bass by itself. Unless you're fucking like Les Claypool, you're not carrying the fucking...
So we did like a recording through that program, and we did like a couple sessions of it and recorded every time because that was like part of the experience. And then we were kind of just like, fuck it, like we can do this ourselves. Like we can just like our drummer's dad was a firefighter for the city of Brockton, so like he would work like 24-hour shifts, but then he would have like a lot of time off. So we would just like practice in his garage like twice a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes for like 8 hours at a time, and like he would just
dude.
he was like our manager too. Like he would book us shows. Like all his firefighter friends had like events. Like there was like a chili cook-off on the Cape that we did every year. Yeah, a few events. And that just kind of like got us going. And then eventually we started playing around like Boston, and like we played the Middle East upstairs like a billion times. And then our peak was the Middle East downstairs. It was Built to Spill was the band. And we opened for them, and it was like a sold out room.
Yeah.
And it was like right when we dropped our like full length album that we had like recorded on our own budget that we like made
like
from
did
playing
it by
gigs.
yourself in that garage.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking awesome. And as they say, show beget more shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, you keep doing that. And so, did that band break up? What was it called?
It was called Defret. Most of our stuff is kind of wiped, and the stuff that you can find now is like the earlier stuff from like freshman year of high school, and that album came out senior year.
It's so awesome to have like deep cuts like that. Though.
A few of my friends,
you know what I mean?
A few of my friends have it on CD still, and they'll be like, "Oh, I put it on in my car the other day, and it was so good."
Hits,
like,
you know what I mean? No, the best one is because like I said, my brother had a metal band in high school, and he has one CD they released. It was a band called Ashen, and it's like metal. It is called Victory's Not Possible, and it's all Slayer ripoffs and that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But like, then you dig that up and it's your own lore. You know what I'm saying? And you hear it later. Or like that one rap track they recorded when they were in high school. And it's like, you bring it to the person and they're like, yo, how do you have that? Like, I forgot this existed, dude.
No, it's funny because I just reconnected with this kid that I went to high school with, because he's in like 3 bands right now, and he does all the recording and engineering himself because he's just taught himself how to do that over like the last 10 years.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and I always kind of lacked in that because I focus way more on like trying to get good at the instrument.
Yeah.
So I reconnected with him to be like, can you teach me what you know in like working in Logic and like trying to get, like a good mix going.
Exactly.
So I paid him for like an hour and a half lesson.
Yeah.
But one of the things he said, he was like, dude, like I listened to your album all the time in high school, and you were like my hero back then. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. And now I'm like taking a lesson from him too. It's funny.
And that sense of community is like the beautiful thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? One hand shaking the other.
And and everyone has different skill sets. Like I suck at getting gigs. I'm just getting better at it. But like I have friends who will just like book out a summer for their band. And it's
exactly. And it's all about like, you're good at fucking guitar. You can sing while playing guitar. You can do all the technical things you need to show up. You just need an agent or a management to put you in that position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, we just got to find people that make up for the things we lack. Trust me, I can't get booked for comedy for the life of me, dude. I've done like 3 shows in 4 years.
It's a challenge. Yeah.
Yep. But
comedy especially, I feel like, is like, because it's like, there's such a high threshold for selling a show, like, and like you have to be really good to break that barrier.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
and then like you could do everything right. Like I've been told people are like, I curated the best show. I got my favorite people ever to show up,
Right.
and then the crowd just did not like
Just
the content.
sucked.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, and they bought drinks, and they wanted to keep doing it, but like I wasn't happy with that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so do you ever worry, because you fill time before like the open mics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How long do you play usually? Like an hour or so?
Yeah, like an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little
'Cause-
more, sometimes a little less.
Yeah, for comedy, like we're desperately trying to fill 5 minutes, like say five
Yeah.
things, pace
Yeah.
it right, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Have you ever like had like, oh, they were like, you need to play 3 hours? Like, have you ever like hesitated to fill time, or like been like, we're gonna flip the CD over now?
Yeah, we actually
starting.
So the band that I'm playing with, like under the name Harrington, that we played, like that's what this demo is, right?
Yes.
We played the Marshfield Fair this summer, and that was like a 3-hour set.
Yeah.
And we only had like maybe 2.5 hours of material, and that's being generous.
So then you go into the Fish jam band mode.
Yeah.
Like you gotta just
Literally,
start
yeah.
like yelling Scrimshaw.
Which we do like a fair amount of that anyway, because I love that stuff. Like I love jazz and I love jam stuff. So like, you know, I'm down to stretch a 4-minute song into an 8-minute song. But like, we actually ended up recycling a bunch of, because it's a fair too, so people are coming and going, like they're only stopping for 20 minutes.
Care, bro.
The only people that was there the whole time were the bartenders.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's like
exactly.
they don't give a shit.
Yeah,
so
they're so locked in. They're just happy it's not like a DJ playing Uptown Funk.
yeah,
You
so
know
by
what I'm
the
saying?
end it's just like, let's just play all our songs.
Yeah.
Like we know them, and
Where it's like, and it's also, you get a certain freedom when you're like, okay, I've exhaused everything that's in the chamber. Now I'm gonna do a weird cover, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like anything I want, like that.
Exactly. And I've been doing that more because I have the freedom to do that. Like I've been playing Aiden's and Kinsman and Roy Bean, and it's like just playing by myself, not having to worry about anyone else.
Complete
I'll
creative
pull
control.
random shit out of my pocket. Like I did this past Friday, I did a loop cover of Dock of the Bay, which I've never like even tried to play that melody on the guitar, but I just knew the chord progression, so I just threw it in the looper and I just started figuring it out in the
Like
moment.
live on stage.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
it's like they don't notice.
Yeah.
Like they're just there sitting, drinking. Like
No,
you know,
and but that's the coolest thing too. And a lot of people like they want to play an arena show of all their original shits, but like you're having fun playing in these bars and stuff like that, and that you're putting out that much shit and getting to experiment is awesome. Because I remember I was like, I think you played Clint Eastwood by the Gorillas.
Yeah,
like
I
you know what
love
I'm saying,
playing
like
that
shit
song.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm like nostalgia trip right there. But the best thing is, oh, he's playing a song and I can't remember what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like those are the best things. 'Cause
Yeah.
now you're stimulating. Now I'm like looking at the person next to me. What the fuck is this? I know this fucking song, and we're all trying to figure it out. And
Yeah.
that's when you're curating, and you're honestly like, it's like you're fertilizing the soil for conversation and connection, which is what music's all about.
Yeah,
It's kinda
exactly.
Like conveying shit.
I got like the best compliment ever the other day when I played at Aiden's. There was this guy there the whole time, and he was just sitting by himself at the bar, like listening to me play. He put a couple requests in, and like I was playing songs from like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. Like I did like Maroon 5 stuff. Like I'm all over the place. But
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
dude.
like the best compliment in the world. He's like, everything you played was like timeless.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and I like the songs that like they're not necessarily overplayed, but like people know them. You know.
Yeah, it's like the medium cut. It's not like a deep cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when I would like, it's like Something in the Way by Nirvana being in the new fucking Batman movie.
Yeah.
Like that was at the end of Nevermind. And if like you listened to all of Nevermind and then after the 12 minutes of silence,
Yeah.
and you got to that,
Yeah.
you knew.
Yeah.
But like other than that, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's the same quality.
No, for
It's
sure,
the same
yeah.
fucking good shit. And I love hidden tracks at the end of an album. It's one
Yeah,
of my
they used to do
favorite
that a
fucking
lot
things,
back
dude.
in the day, yeah.
Well, it's kind of dead with streaming, and I hate all the things that streaming is killing for people. But like,
The bridge.
yeah, like let's see. My favorite one is probably at the end of Dookie after FOD, which is one of my favorite Green Day
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. I was gonna say Dookie has one of my favorite hidden tracks of all time.
It's
yeah.
fucking, and I was all by myself, like that weird ass track, bro. And
I was all by myself.
and because you know what I'm saying, they got refined, and but like it's like they knew in that moment. It's like, okay, we make teenage angst music, and this is the teenage
Yeah.
angst album, and this is gonna be the most angsty fucking track
Yeah,
ever. You know what I'm
seriously.
saying? Like,
And it's like it's very like almost Velvet Underground in the
Oh, yeah,
or
dude.
not Velvet Underground. Sorry, Violent Femmes.
Oh,
in the way
dude.
that it's like a tongue-in-cheek kind of like
Oh,
acoustic,
exactly, like-
horny guy rock. Like,
Bro, I love. I just gotten through this phase with Violent Femmes. Like it was like, okay, my current fixation is the White Stripes. I'm just listening to their greatest hits over and over and over.
you know what's funny is
Awesome, by the way.
when you were talking about how it's better, you have more freedom when you play a small venue. I was
Yeah.
going to say a lot of these big acts now are like going out of their way to try to play smaller venues
Yeah,
where they can do
exactly,
whatever the
like-
fuck. And like Jack White, I think, is the poster child of that right now,
Oh,
where
yeah,
he's
dude.
like, he could sell out stadiums if he wanted to, and he's playing like these tiny little rock clubs for like his biggest fans, you know?
It's the coolest thing. And it's also, there are comedians that do that too. Or even Vince Staples, a rapper, talk about it. You build your own following and then you can do whatever you want. Because
Right.
if you're trying to, if you're chasing the pop music high, if you're chasing that dragon,
It's always going to fizzle out.
yeah, you're just going to be like, oh, now I'm trying to collab with Doja Cat or make a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
You're not going to be you, and
Yeah.
you're not going to have that forever.
I think that's always kind of been in the back of my mind, and the way that I approach it too is like, I'm way better off finding a niche, especially in what I want to make, because it just does not fit that context of like the pop zeitgeist.
In addition to that, so do you have any music that like affects you like deeply and emotionally? Like, because it's the weirdest thing where like I said, I'm listening to the White Stripes just because I have their greatest hits on vinyl. I just was like, okay, I'm gonna go cover to cover on this, and it's the song "I Can Tell That We Are Gonna Be Friends."
Yeah.
it was a Napoleon Dynamite.
Super nostalgic song. Yeah.
It fucking almost brings me to tears all the time because it's like.
I actually have been thinking about putting that in my set too. So this
If
is
you want to see me cry
this
at
is
the kids'
confirmation
menu,
that I
as soon
need
as
to
you
do
play
that,
that,
yeah.
I'm gonna fucking lose it, dude. It's so crazy because it's not sad subject matter. It's just kind of like thinking about childhood and how we'll never go back to that, and that's really what kind of like hits me about. Do you have any music that like makes you feel emotions or almost like I cried listening to "Dear Mama" by Kanye. It just came on my phone one time. I don't know. Ever since I got sober, I'm a total
Hey,
bitch.
Mama.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh yeah,
And then
that
you
song
call your
is
mom
that's
after,
a
and you're like,
gut-wrencher, dude. Yeah.
and it's just ever since I got sober, I have so many more emotions. It's fucking weird. But like, do you have any music that hits you like that? Like you just heard it and it's like,
Yeah, it's funny too because it's like different music hits me in different ways for different reasons. Like when I was like in middle school, right, I went through like a super big emo phase, and
as we all did.
yeah, MCR was like my shit. Like they were like my favorite band of all time for
Fuck yeah.
for it was like the White Stripes for like 4 years, and then it was MCR for like 4 years.
Yeah, it's like a progression of like, okay, we're putting in a little more emo on this.
Yeah,
You
and
know
I
what I'm
still
saying?
know
Like,
all the lyrics to all their like, you know, shit. Like, yeah. So when I hear like, you know, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, like anything off that album, like it hits, you know, the Ghost of You is like,
and it
yeah.
brings you back to that moment where
Yeah.
like, you were wearing the tight jeans and
Yeah.
all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because and then we see ourselves in that, and that's
Like
what.
Cancer off the Black Parade is like that's an insane song.
See, I
you
think
know?
my favorite one. I hope I'm not Teenagers.
Yep,
Teenagers is probably my
yeah.
favorite.
Our
My
band
Chemical
used to
Romance.
cover that.
Yeah, those teenagers scared.
The Frat
of
used to
shit.
cover
Yeah, it's a
that,
fucking
yeah.
happy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fun. That's
But
a
the
fun
Violent
song.
Femmes, I love how, like you said, it's a weird ass band.
Yeah.
But it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like the acoustic bass, their biggest hit being Blister in the Sun, which is about whacking off. A lot of people speculate and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or I remember like I was like, oh yeah, this is 80s music, and I tried playing it for my dad, and my dad's like, yo, this shit's too weird. Because come on, Dad, give me the car. I got a girl. I'm trying to. Like,
Yeah,
it's like,
it's yeah.
but
It's a little uncomfortable.
no, yeah, it's awesome, but it's like that weird. I talked to Sean Murray, and he talked to me about like to get better at comedy. Like I'm asking everyone for advice all the time, even though best advice is just be yourself. But he said when you're comfortable with sharing things that are weird about yourself, it opens up a whole new spectrum because people will just appreciate like, oh, you shared something that like might not be
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like this isn't you putting yourself in the idealistic.
It earns
light
you
of your
like respect
memoir.
in a way.
Yeah, a whole lot of shit. And yesterday I bought the soundtrack for The Crow on a CD. I was so fucking happy about it. Soundtracks were so much better back in the day, but it's got
Yeah.
a Violent Femme song on it. It's like Color Me In, and he's playing an electric bass on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
so fucking cool. And I forget where I was going with that, but it was so fucking fire.
Yeah. Well, like bouncing off what you were saying, I've like found that because I'm usually like pretty unapologetically myself, because I just can't stand it when people are like putting up a front.
Yeah, it's fake.
And yeah, so I find that like when I do that, you know, people either recognize that immediately and it like earns me respect right away, or it's like the kind of person that is putting on that front, and they don't know how to react to that, like realness,
like they're uncomfortable.
and it's like it's almost like they take it as like a point of aggression.
Yeah,
where
they're
it's like
you're not wearing your mask, bro. What are you doing right
yeah,
now?
and it's like they recognize that I also see through that in a way too. So it's like they feel vulnerable.
Yeah, I often come back to it's a quote from a movie, Coach Carter or Samuel L. Jackson. It's weird. We're all over the place, but it says when you let your light shine, you give others permission to do it yourself.
Yeah,
and also you're a self-actualized person. You know what you want to do. You're continually pursuing it, and you're working on it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, it brings up frustration themselves when they don't know what they want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's cool, man. You figured out what you want.
Well, I think fear is like the leader, right? Like fear is what motivates me to do what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, because I know I have to work extra hard to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same way the other way around for people, where it's like, that fear is stopping them from doing whatever
100%.
it is they want to do.
And there's a big shame in it too, because like a lot of people are scared, like, I'm going to drop 3 songs and they're not going to be the greatest songs of all time. I'm not going to get laid off of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's all the wrong reasons.
People are so afraid to fuck up that they won't even start something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know how long it took me not to cringe at my sets, like looking back
Yeah.
at them, bro? Like, you said, I fucking bombed with you playing guitar behind me at the Kinsman. That was a good set for me, but it was like still not great.
I haven't done a set there where I haven't bombed, so.
What do you mean? Like playing music or
No, like trying to
You've
tell
done
jokes.
stand-up?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. How was that?
It was, I got like scattered laughs.
Yeah, that's what you're getting out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you're tapped in, like, and then if people really get locked in like that, like Pat O'Neill, did you see him do a lot of stand up? Did you hang out till the
he's
end?
good.
Because he usually closed out, but like, so he starts closing out every show and like doing like the headliner things. And then you move to somewhere where you can actually get big. You know what I'm saying? Because he just went down to Austin and now he's on Netflix. It's
yeah,
crazy.
no, seriously.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Yeah, he popped off.
Yeah, I always liked his shit.
And it's funny
It was
with
fun.
comedy too, is like, and I guess it's true with music, but I'll watch people absolutely kill one week and then come back the next week and fucking tank, and it's like it's so funny to watch. Like,
you gotta learn to love the pain.
Yeah.
Like, I like having a shitty one because like I'm like, oh, next one's gonna be better than this.
Yeah, it
and then
humbles
you have a
you.
good one and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I can take 3 weeks off, lose everything I just gained. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like you lose that discipline and you get fat and lazy. It's just like how you see all the musicians are like, oh, I got successful and I can't write anymore because I have limited drugs now. So
it
I have
happens to
like,
me
wait
all the
for it.
time too, where it's like, I'll learn a new song that's like really complicated or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, I'm so good. And then I'll just
You're like, oh, I'm locked in.
and then I'll stop playing for like a week, and then I'll be like, oh shit, I suck.
Yeah, my technical skills are gone
it's like
entirely.
it all went out the door. Yeah.
Yeah, it's agonizing. Was there like a performer or anything that you saw that really like solidified you wanting to make music? Because like I said, there's a lot of people that like they learn the instrument and then they're just like, okay, I do this by myself sometimes. But
Yeah.
who'd you see that really set you off?
Yeah, so I think that early on it was like watching videos of people play. Like when I started really getting into shit, like I was watching videos of like Jimmy Page and like Pink Floyd playing live and like just it's like what I imagine like people who are really into football watching like
The greatest,
the
like,
greatest
highlight reels,
greatest
like,
highlight
that kind
reels
shit,
of all
you know what I'm
time of
saying?
like the greatest players,
Yep.
Michael
it is-
Jordan in his heyday, you know what I
exactly.
mean? Like
Trust me, that's the crazy thing about Instagram is because they just show you all the greatest
That's all you
moments
see.
of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I like the riff rap. I like seeing like people figuring it out.
I was going to say that too when we were talking about people like being too insecure to, start things. Like I see people all the time on like Instagram, mostly YouTube, I feel like is where I see the most like just randos, who are just starting playing guitar. It's like it's some like 45-year-old man who like just picked it up
dude.
after 20 years or something. And there's always some fucking sleaze in the comments that's just like, you suck, or like keep trying, or like, you know what I mean? It's just like, dude, like,
that negativity is so evil.
and
it's like the
it's
kind
coming
of
from
elitist attitude.
it's coming from like the worst fucking DJ you've ever met.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
He's
mean?
like, I can't sample this, so it's trash.
It's like-
I can't cut this into my Ableton DJ set. So
you
they
don't
need to
know
fucking,
good music.
Yeah. Like,
DJ
dude,
Khaled is good music.
oh, we the best music.
Like, oh my God.
They're really quiet ever since all that P Diddy shit.
I know, dude.
because also they were best. You know what I'm saying? It's
Dude, that's been crazy. Like watching, like the story itself and Diddy itself is crazy, but it's kind of like, it's
when you listen to his music, you can kind of tell he doesn't have a soul. Like I know
Yeah.
that's weird as hell to think about, but like you can tell, oh, he didn't write this, or
No,
like, these
yeah,
aren't
it's-
real emotions.
it's all like corporate, like
exactly.
board.
Like,
Yeah.
you're like, he's like, I don't write rhymes, I sign checks, and it's like, oh, so you like because like you can't actually speak to people as yourself. It's the same
Capitalist
thing. You're talking
propaganda.
about a facade and a mask and all
Yeah.
this kind of shit like that.
No, it's true. No, but I was gonna say, watching the other celebrities that have been around him for years, like crash out, like the whole Justin Bieber thing,
Oh,
and watching him go off the deep end since,
Yeah.
it's like it just makes you wonder, like, what happened there. You know what I mean? It's like
this is kind of a weird take. I did a bit about it once. I was like, like the worst people like, and there's nothing wrong with Christianity. There's nothing wrong with religion. I'm spiritual. I believe in stuff. I pray.
Right.
But it's like when people are publicly saying I found God and all this and that, they were in some deep shit.
Yeah, there was
like,
something going on
Do you
there,
remember like
yeah.
Coney 2012? Like, do you remember that like he's like a general at child
Vaguely.
soldiers in Africa?
Yeah.
And they're like doing a bunch of like campaigning for him.
Yeah.
Guess what he does? He finds Jesus and like, he's like, I'm saved now. I stopped doing bad things. I no longer eat the hearts of children
oh my
before I
God,
fucking
yeah.
head out
Yeah,
there.
he was like the
Where it's
warlord guy, right?
Yeah, he was out in Africa. He was like a warlord. It was
Yeah,
fucked
I
up
remember.
shit.
I remember watching that Vice documentary.
Yeah, and again, well, Justin Bieber found Jesus, got married. I remember the
Yeah.
weirdest one was, I don't know if you don't watch football much, or are you into sports?
Not really, no.
So it was like the craziest shit. I went to Pittsburgh because I'm a Steelers fan, and so I had an Uber driver there, and she was like, "Oh, I was a limo driver for these like pro football players. Like
Yeah.
I drove around AB, and like it was just his crowd that he grew up with that kept fucking him up. Like when
Yeah.
he would go to parties with his friends he grew up with, he'd come back fucked up. But he said like." So Big Ben Roethlisberger, again, another example of someone majorly controversial, finds Jesus and
Yeah.
goes like the PR guy just kind of plans out your life from then on.
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
like, okay, you did a
Here's
bad
what
thing,
you can
bro.
say and when
Yeah.
you can say it. Yeah.
But like, oh, dude, but it was like this lady told me, she was like, Big Ben was from Ohio and he liked black chicks. They made him marry that white woman for PR. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? 5-star Uber.
Oh my
This is
God.
the best 5 minutes I've ever had. And like, could you imagine being that successful that like, okay, like, no, you need to live your life like with our constraints. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
Illuminati deal.
That's a
that
once in a
apparently everyone
lifetime
gets.
story.
Yeah, just that lucky coming home from the airport on that.
You always get the best like Uber tangents. Like
Oh, dude, I never Uber. Like, it's like I very rarely do it, but when I do,
it's
like,
always crazy. You're always like in another city. Like
yeah.
we were talking to our Uber in Vegas, and it was like really, really just goofy.
Yeah.
It's that's always the case. It's so
Yeah.
funny.
Or it's like, it's New York. Yo, can I crush some Coronas back here, bro? And he's like, of course, I don't care. Or another one in Pittsburgh. She was like, we were like, this isn't the car the Uber app said was going to pick us up. She was like, yeah, I totaled that bitch. I'm pulling up in my son's car because I need this money. Please don't report me.
Like okay,
Real shit. Get me there quicker now because I got some blackmail on you.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than having like a little bit of blackmail on somebody. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
right.
Like, that's what it's the fucked up exchange is like at work. Everyone just spills tea about the other coworkers. They're
Yeah.
like, if that guy's ever mean to you, remind him that he shit himself this one time. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, I hate that that's how we connect with people. It's like dirt.
Yeah.
But
No, but it's true, and it's like that is what makes relationships stronger. For
yeah.
what it seems, is just like talking about other people's fuck ups.
oh yeah, spilling tea and being able to like, you know what I'm saying? And then that's also the big marker of professional relationships. It's like, we're not talking about anything that happened this weekend, bro. We are locked in on this today.
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, what's the worst job you ever had?
You know, I've been like fairly lucky. So the job I'm working right now is my third job that I've ever had. The first
Fuck
one
yeah.
was
I keep forgetting you're young because like, you're
yeah,
like,
I'm pretty
I've got
young.
like 20 years in this music.
I also I tend to like stick around.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because I say I've been playing guitar for like 15 years, but I started when I was 9. So like that you know, it's like
The Fisher Price
Yeah.
piano, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like I was learning Crazy Train in 8th grade.
I was. Well, I was
Exactly.
learning Crazy Train in 5th grade.
Yeah.
That. I was walking around the house playing Crazy Train. That was one of the first songs I really learned.
The phases. It's such a good fucking riff, though.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Randy Rhoads. And again, all the people dying in plane crashes, we're kind of coming full circle back to the 80s. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's like, it's wild because Leonard Skinner, Randy Rhoads, all these people getting fucking popped off.
Yeah.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration guitar-wise? Oh, and
Oh,
also it's
man.
great that you linger at jobs because I had like, if you look at my resume, if I was honest on it, it was about 20 jobs in the last
Yeah.
I was
I
going-
was gonna say the second job I worked was really like pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because I worked at it was like a coffee shop. This is a good story actually.
There we go.
It was like a coffee shop cafe hybrid, and it was like right off of Quincy subway stop. So like we had constant influx of traffic from like the Boston subway.
You're just getting like
Yeah,
railed,
swamped.
no pun
yeah,
intended.
and we usually only had like 2 or 3 people on, like one on the cash register, one making all the drinks, and one making all the food. Yeah. The place is owned by this like Chinese family, and most of my coworkers are like middle-aged Chinese women. And they loved me, but they made fun of me so bad. They used to call me Guilo, and I asked one of my coworkers what Guilo meant, and he was like, "It roughly translates to thin white ghost."
Yo, that is such a good name for a band. Like,
Yeah.
holy fuck.
They had like this guy who would come in at like 5 o'clock in the morning and make all the bagels downstairs, but he would just like actively rip darts while he was doing it. So like he'd come in and the whole place would just reek like cigs because he's in the basement just chain
Now
smoking
that's
all
food
morning.
service, dog. And it's getting done, so they don't give a fuck. I fucking love that. They're token white guy, which is hilarious. Like, that's my
So-
big idea. I want to get laid off, move to Asia, just be a cool guilo.
So this one time I'm working, it's just me and this other kid doing everything. And we have a line out the door. And this guy comes in, and he was a regular, but he has like cerebral palsy or something. So he's like completely wheelchair bound, and like, you know, he can't like
So
speak.
he rolls in.
Yeah, he can't speak
regularly.
like completely normal. So yeah, so he rolls in and he like really has to use the bathroom. But we have a line out the door and there's a bunch of shit going on. So I'm like, okay, I'll take orders. You like get him to the bathroom, whatever. This was a common occurrence here, but one of the local addicts had stolen our bathroom key. So we had no way of getting into the bathroom. So this kid's out in the hallway with this dude in a wheelchair for like a solid 5 or 6 minutes while I'm holding down the fort
dude,
myself.
The longest 6 minutes of your fucking life.
And this kid comes back, dude. This kid comes back, tears rolling down his cheeks. And I'm like, what
motherfucker shit
happened?
himself.
And he's like, he pissed his pants. And I was like, brother, I'm sorry. I understand you're upset, but look at what is going on right now.
like I need you to
This
get back to the
physically
warfare.
cannot be our problem, and it sucks, but it's
Yeah,
just
dude.
the reality. Like
my
we
gosh.
have to just continue doing what we're doing. This is no longer in our hands.
You're upper management right there, bro. You locked in. You
Yeah.
said, hurry up and cream cheese this bagel. I don't give a fuck about the wheelchair-bound man covered in piss.
That trained me for my current management position.
God damn, dude. And what about... Oh, yeah, you're a manager now. Damn.
Yeah.
Young man managing. I have some friends that are managers at their jobs. Well, I have one that lasted and one that didn't. And it's like you said, you got to make those hard calls. You got to say, this is not
Yeah.
our problem right now.
Yeah.
Because I have a buddy that would be chilling and smoking weed and drinking late at night. You get a call at like 9 o'clock from one of his workers. I can't come in tomorrow. And he starts negotiating with them.
Yeah.
You have to be like, hey, man, you're out of PTO. All of this other shit. Can you what is happening? It's just like, the motherfucker's
Yeah.
just drunk. I've done it before. You call
Yeah.
in. I took a shot of gin on the phone, so I was gagging on the phone, so I sounded really bad and I couldn't
Yeah.
come in. Shit like that. And so that guy did not last as manager. But my other friend who plays no shit, he's like,
Yeah.
I got to fire someone today. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got to. Yes. Because, like, he had an argument with someone. They had one meeting up with the boss, and they're like, okay, they're going to tighten up. They're going to
Yeah.
get better. And then they had a second meeting, and they're like, okay, what do we have to change? And he said, we're having a second meeting about this person. Fucking get him out of here. I'm supposed to be working right now. I want to get to this fucking job. I was like, buddy, you are an asshole, but you are God's gift to management. Like, you are literally locked in on that shit.
That's the curse of food service, man.
Oh,
it's like,
dude,
you could be in the cushiest town in America, and it's like, you're working with crackheads and you're dealing with crackheads. Like, it doesn't matter.
When I was catering, there was, like, they told me stories of people that were on Percocets and would nod off in the middle of whatever they were doing. Like, they'd be, like, picking up a milk crate full of beer and just fall asleep, like, standing there bent over and shit. And also, trust me, like, I wasn't managing, but I like was supposed to like kind of take lead on some things and like try telling a 18-year-old on a dab pen to do anything without their AirPods in. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Or the look you get when they have to take their AirPods out and listen to what you're saying.
That is literally my job right now. Yeah.
Oh, it's agonizing.
Yeah,
dude.
it's all like high school.
And I never had empathy for my teachers before that moment. Yeah. And my bad. I gotta blow my nose. You got like a paper towel or something like that? Here. My bad. Disgusting. Yeah, I'm gonna blow it in here so that like they don't get the ASMR of like. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let me know if you need anything.
Yeah, sure. I like the cupcake with a dick on it.
Yeah, that's actually an edible.
That's an edible.
Yeah. One of my coworkers made it.
Homemade edibles are like a very insane thing. Homemade edibles are either. I remember the worst thing is if an old lady made them. Because that's when you're getting, like, literally dried weed that you have to eat. Yeah. It's, like, the worst shit you've ever experienced in your life. Like, when you don't know what's going on with it. And also, it's a lot more of a psychedelic experience eating it.
Yeah, for sure.
Deep panic attacks where, I deleted every episode of my podcast in one night. You know what I'm saying? Like, 4,000 milligrams of Kit Kat. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's brutal.
My buddies, like, they have, like, a genetic condition that's, like, fucked up. Like, and so they get they've gotten the crazy shit forever with edibles and and also I don't know, as soon as I hit like 27 I started getting anxious every time I smoked weed and I was like, okay, I should stop this.
A lot of people talk about that.
Well, I mean, people are getting it with alcohol too. Like, do you ever like wake up the next day and you're like, oh god, I made a total asshole of myself last night. I was supposed to be a manager and I took 20 shots of tequila. Like, that kind of shit.
I've had a few moments like that in the last year or so. But then I'm also like, I'm at the age where it's like socially appropriate to do that every so often. Exactly. So it's like, it hasn't been.
It's just when you start feeling like, okay, I'm an adult and I pay taxes. And like, oh fuck, I just dropped $400 at the bar yesterday. Yeah.
And I'm definitely getting to that point now where it's like, okay,
Do you ever have you ever been like anxious getting up there? Like you want to crush a beer or two and it like loosens you up?
Yeah, especially like the nights where I did jokes for sure.
Oh, 100%. Trust me. And then because that's such the fickle line we walk. Because I remember like I drank like half a bottle of Johnny Walker Black and had like my first good set where like things worked. I was like, okay,
this is magic.
We found the formula. I need to drink half a bottle of scotch and go up there and talk abortions.
I'm hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. Because now people are nurturing the bad things like that. And then if I drank half a bottle of scotch every day, I'd suddenly be married and beat my wife.
There's a thing to that too. It's like the people that encourage like pothead comedians that only make jokes about being a pothead, and it's like
I know plenty of people that
there's
like,
nothing more annoying to me than that, like because it's like you get to a certain point with like smoking and it's like, dude, like you telling me that you took a 5 milligram edible is like you telling me that you brushed your teeth this morning. Like fucking congratulations, like, dude. You know what I mean? Like
I did another bit. I was trying to figure out how to do it right. It doesn't work. I was like, a lot of people are like competitively trying to be good at smoking weed. Like it's not hard, bro. You can get it from the government. Like back when we were young and you had to like go listen to a mixtape and like hang out with your local rapper and shit. Like. And like, you know what I'm saying? When it was sketchy and people were hiding fucking eighths in their like gas caps so that the cops pull over for the eighth. They don't get raped in jail. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, and not because that's what was the bit. It was, people are trying to be competitive with smoking weed. It's really easy to do. It's like, I'm the best at getting raped in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally like, I'm like, oh yeah, you're good at something that doesn't fucking matter.
I'm
like,
good
you know
at,
what I'm saying? Like,
I'm good at kind of fucking myself over all the time.
I'm good at spending $400 a month on something that is actively making me stupid. And trust me,
Making my life more difficult.
like, yeah, I loved it though. I loved being stupid because it's also like, because it's a little like burning sage or a candle. Like,
No,
you know
it's great.
Like,
It's the ignorance is bliss, like, to a T.
or it's like, if that movie sucks and then you get a little high and you're like, I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, and someone told me, they were like, yo, do you feel like you're missing out on opportunities because you don't smoke weed? It's like wild,
insane.
right? Like, no, it's like, yeah, dude,
As somebody
really,
who
like,
smokes every day, that is an insane thing to say.
they're like, yeah, you don't show, like, it's because, like, yeah, I will say it happened one time where a booker at a skew walked up to me and my friend and were like, yo, you got any weed? I don't usually smoke, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's like me with cigarettes. It's like, I don't smoke cigarettes, but, like, right now I want one.
Yeah.
And so a booker walked up and he asked me and my friend, like, yo, you got some weed? I'm trying to smoke right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't have weed on me, and I think forever that will be the turning point where my comedy career failed. It's
That
like,
could
you
have
got to
been
keep that shit on you,
That
dog.
could have been it, yeah. When Joe Rogan comes up to you and asks you for a fucking dub.
Dude, he's a very big quandary because, like, you could be successful in some aspects and not.
Yeah.
Because he's not a good comedian.
No.
I don't care. Anyone will tell you that. Like,
No.
but he has the best podcast of all time.
Yeah, it's like super interesting to watch, even when it's like completely like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's like the fact that he'll even entertain some of this is like,
Oh, dude.
very entertaining.
Well, it's also like thinking about him having Donald Trump, Kanye West, and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, all these people. And it's, for me, the weird thing is, though, do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
Not really.
Exactly, because
like,
you're a happy, well-adjusted person.
Yeah.
Like, the more podcasts, it's a direct correlation.
yeah,
the
to like
more-
worrying about things that you don't need to be worried about.
Or like
yeah.
being depressed. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
most podcasts I've ever listened to, I was working a warehouse job.
Yeah.
Like popping Zans here and there. Like, you know what I'm
listening
saying?
to,
Like,
listening
fully,
to fucking
like,
Tim Dillon like nonstop. Yeah.
yeah, just like, and then
I had a friend who went through a big Tim Dillon podcast bender, and he
Oh,
was
yeah,
just
dude.
like always upset about something, and it's like that's literally he just screams into the microphone about shit, and it's funny. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed listening to it. It would make
Yeah.
me laugh, but it's like I get 20 minutes of that shit, and I'm like, all right, I
got
fucking
my
hate
fill.
everybody. I
Yeah,
hate
exactly.
like, you know what I mean?
no, people want a reason to be pissed off or ill content with their life when gratitude's the key to happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why, like, you know, Fox and CNN make so much money because they're just constantly
The
like
news is
rage
terrible.
baiting people.
The only time I really enjoy it is when I wake up at like 5 a.m. wicked early for work. I'll go into a diner and I'll sit at the diner
Yeah,
bar.
and you feel like a normal human being
Yeah.
for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and they got the shitty like little local news broadcast
Yeah,
up in the corner,
yeah.
and I have like 5-6-year-old dudes going, like talking about that. They're like, "Oh, someone got shot in Warren. The whole city's going to shit."
talking up last night's Reds.
It's just like, or like. Or you know, it's a real diner where like the chef and the waitress are married and they're both in their 50s, and like someone
Yelling in Portuguese.
yeah, someone complains about the waitress and the chef chimes in from the back. I have to go home with her. All right, one more nose blow. Sorry, these allergies are killing me.
Very good.
Just hold it down for 5 seconds. You can say some dumb shit.
Dumb shit.
A lot of pressure.
Some dumb shit. This man is holding me against my will. Please, somebody, please come help. I'm terrified for my life, and I might not make it out of here. Please, somebody, send some sort of service, please. Oh, hey.
No one can hear you. I'm just gonna play this podcast back to you over and over and over, and be like, it's
I don't
like-
even have a podcast.
Yeah, I'm just saying I have the best horror movie of all time. Saying I have a podcast to get into their house, or luring them to my studio. Oh, dude. Okay, what's the last movie you saw in theaters?
The Minecraft movie.
Fire.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Chicken Jockey.
I have not seen it because I am a full-grown man.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, I haven't seen it because I feel like you need a girlfriend and or
Yeah,
kid
I was
to go
gonna
see
say
those kind of
for
things.
for any virgins out there, there is hope. I went to the Minecraft movie with my girlfriend, so There is hope for you.
Yeah. Go play guitar
Everything's
for
going to be
15
okay.
years,
Yeah,
it'll work.
learn a practical, applicable skill that you can do something with, even if it's not making money. And
That's
somebody
the
will
biggest-
gravitate
yeah.
to it.
Everyone's like, you need to be getting money for something. Or I hear a bunch of people, they're like,
5, 10, 100K in the bank.
yeah, exactly.
Just have a reason for people to talk to you. That's really that.
Yeah,
It's that
anything
easy.
to fucking talk about besides politics.
Literally be like
Like,
surface level interesting on some kind of topic that you at least care about a little bit.
Yeah, if you actually have a light in your eyes,
Right.
If you are not spending 8 hours a day scrolling on TikTok,
Yeah, preferably don't make that topic Apex Legends or something like that. But like,
yeah. Do you actually that brings me to another good point. Do you have any like hobbies that distract you from your primary?
oh yeah,
interest?
video games for sure.
100%.
Yeah, but I play good ones. That's the problem.
like because I remember I'll never forget my first hosting gig. It was supposed to be like my big chance to like get booked and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's 3 months away. I gotta lock in. I gotta get ready.
Yeah.
Elden Ring comes out.
Elden Ring, yeah.
It's over. it's fucking over,
Yeah.
bro. 180 hours. If
Yeah.
I put half the amount of time I put into video games into anything, I'd
Yeah.
be killing it right now.
I still haven't beat Elden Ring, but I did beat Bloodborne this year, which was a huge
That's
platinum
the only one I haven't played.
platinum
You
trophy.
platinumed
Yeah.
it. Oh
yeah.
my god.
I
Wait,
went in.
Now, when you say you haven't beat Elden Ring, do you mean you haven't like platinumed it or?
No, I straight up like I got to the city, like the capital city.
Capital's a rough one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then my Xbox broke, and then I restarted on PS5,
Yeah.
and now I'm back up to. I'm like I need to fight Radon. I'm in like Liurnia.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't
kind of.
finish on my PC playthrough. I'm actually on the DLC. I'm fighting
cool.
Malekith and play earlier. So I love that game. So what do you run? Like, we're gonna get real fucking nerdy for a sec. What build do you run?
So I was running a like twin, a dual
Blades
twin
bleed
blade
build up.
Yeah.
that shit. Yeah, Sellsword twin blades. That's what my buddy ran for
Yeah,
a while.
but I just like, I've kind of caved and was like I am having way more fun just like brute forcing it.
Yeah,
So I went
literally.
I went full strength.
Yeah, my first build was a Dex Intelligence, and I was kind of like
Yeah.
spells and Moonveil. Like, you know, what
I'm not
saying?
good at allocating my stats properly.
Yeah.
You know, like balancing everything out where it's like all at the right levels.
Yeah, when I jumped in to my New Game Plus, you beat the game, then you go in and it gets harder, and you do New Game Plus, and I was like, I'm level like 200. I'm putting 100 into strength, 100 into vigor,
Yeah.
100 into like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is how you can't go back after that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? All the other
No,
bullshit
seriously,
is
like
just
starting
like,
over from that point, it just
beating
feels
the fuck out
painful.
of something with
Yeah.
a big club is like just the natural human thing you want to do.
Yeah. I'm at that point in Bloodborne too because I'm at the New Game Plus and like, I'm starting to like max out stats.
Yeah, I'm so mad because like I've been Xbox and PC, so I've never been able to play Bloodborne, and it'll never get remastered. I've accepted. I tried Lies of P when it was on Game Pass. That shit sucked though.
Yeah. They've never been able to replicate it truly.
I'll say right now I'm pretty deep. I'm almost done with first Berserker. Kazan is my current fixation, and it's a Soulsborne, but there's only 3 weapons: spears, great swords, dual wield.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a Diablo setup where you can't just pick drip like in the Soulsborne
Right.
games. You gotta like
You
wear
have to
the armor
wear the
set to
right
get bonuses.
stat boosts, yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But it's also like, I don't know, it's fun to play around with. And I'm, like I said, quick 80 hours in that shit.
Yeah.
And I like solo player games because when I play multiplayer games, like I do Age of Mythology. It's like Age
I
of
love
Empires.
Age of Mythology.
Really?
dude.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Did we just
Yeah.
become best friends? Fuck.
Dude, I played that shit back in the day. I got
Me
it
too.
like I got a copy from like probably Salvation Army.
Yeah, dude.
And I loaded that shit onto like my grandmother's Windows 95 PC. And I was reading so like this dates me pretty accurately, but I was reading the Percy Jackson books at the time
Fuck
because
yeah,
I was in
dude.
elementary school and I was all in on the Greek mythology.
It's just so fun to lose yourself in that shit.
It's
also,
so good, dude.
And it's just such flushed out characters. Like,
Especially the way that the Percy Jackson series frames it, because
Yeah.
it's like, you know, like the way they frame like the godparent and the cabins and everything. It's like it's like Jungian, like, you know, personality archetypes.
yes.
And it's, you know, it's like it like that actually kind of helped me define like who I was as a person. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, it's awesome.
yeah. So it's like I was all in on that, and like that was the only game that I'd ever heard of that had like a Greek mythology,
kind
like
of
backdrop
ethos,
to
or
it.
like, and there's a lot of people that say it's their first introduction into Greek myths and all this
Yeah.
kind of shit. And
I
bro, you're
played the
sending minotaurs to
fuck
beat
out of
the
that
fuck
game.
out of it. Yeah, so they remastered it recently. I put about 188 hours into it.
Awesome.
But the problem is, I play ranked online, and you know how bad it feels to put 188 hours into something
And
then
still suck at it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's how I feel with Elden Ring too.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like you try so hard, and like it's the line of like, okay, I want to be good at something difficult,
yeah.
but it's also at the same time, if I get too good at this, I will be a loser.
There's always going to be somebody no-lifing it a little bit harder than you are.
Deeper in their mom's basement.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
Adderall.
Yep.
Twitch streaming.
Jobless.
For one person.
Jobless as hell.
Yeah, one of my earliest bits I tried to do, I was like, video gaming, like, stopped being good as soon as you couldn't have a full-time job and be the best Tetris player of all time. Because like, yeah, they're like, if you watch like the OG like Tetris Olympics, like they were playing competitively right next to each other, these motherfuckers were like taking time off from their fucking mining job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
one of my only good jokes revolves around video games, and it's something to the tune of like, did you guys notice that the school shooting started ramping up as soon as the Call of Duty games started to suck?
exactly. Totally, though. Totally valid.
It's like there was a few
like,
trendsetters beforehand, but you know.
It's so bad. And like that is like the biggest fall from grace of like, we talked about musicians like losing the itch to be successful as soon as like, I mean the like drive that made them good as soon as they got successful, because now it's Nicki Minaj shooting 21 Savage with like Sabrina Carpenter coming out of the cut killing them both. Like,
yeah.
Do you play video games with your girlfriend, or do you just hide that whole nerd shit?
No,
from her?
So I'm really hoping that it's saved in the cloud because
you got a Minecraft world?
They should be sending me my new Xbox, but it's not going to have like the same save data. No, dude, Lego Batman, we were 98% of the way through on our profile.
Goals.
We were fucking running that shit. Yeah.
See, that's a good, like, the whole girlfriend game is a genre and shit like that.
Yeah.
But it's also,
it's hard to find good couch co-op games nowadays too. Like,
dude, yeah, because it's not what they're going for.
And the classics haven't been remastered.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
the really good ones from like the
OG
Wii.
Lego Star Wars got redone, but that was like the first Lego Star Wars and shit.
Yep.
Because I remember during COVID, I was like, I firmly like believe I ruined my friend's relationship because he kind of had a handle on it. Like he hid all the nerd shit from his girlfriend. But like COVID happened, and then we started getting
all comes out.
We started getting money, bro.
Yeah,
and we started getting Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah,
and like there's only like,
and it became a problem.
Yeah, you don't say it. She's cool for like the first like 3 weeks, but it's like, okay, like,
yeah,
go outside, guys.
I have a shitload of Magic cards.
Magic cards?
Yeah,
that's a good. I never got it.
I just like collecting them. I play casually. Like I'm not like a big like tournament guy. Yeah. I don't like competing in really anything. Yeah, I'm not a big competitive person.
It's supposed to be a for fun thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like talking shit to your friend. It's like, I want to play. I'll play one game of pool, but I have a buddy that'll set up.
I do love pool.
He wants to play like 7 fucking rounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I hate like I'll play pool with people, and I'm like, even if I lose, I'm like, thanks for playing. That was a great game. You know what I mean? Like I just enjoy playing it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and it's like, but going at, you know what I'm saying, at game 3, or like if we actually get to like, oh, we need the crazy tiebreaker.
Yeah,
like that kind of shit fucking kills me.
People get tilted over it though, and it's like,
oh, dude, I really,
we're not playing for money. Like you have no stake.
It's also like the ultimate quandary of like, everyone wants to get into a bar fight, but as soon as you're old enough to get into a bar fight, you're no longer like, you're gonna get charged.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like, what's the point?
Exactly. But here, you mind if we take a quick break? I gotta piss.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're gonna hit stop. It's like an elitist attitude. Like, people don't want to laugh at things. Like, they're like, I need it to be deep. I need it to be complicated.
Especially from other comedians. I feel like it's like, oh, if I laugh at this, it's going to make me look less funny when I go up and don't get laughs.
Will tell you that it's like the worst people to perform to, but it's also something you need to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you go for like, I don't know, I've only read memoirs of people going to like SNL auditions and that kind of shit. And they're like, I had to talk to someone on the phone that wasn't laughing and tell them all my best bits over the phone. Like, can you imagine how like brutal that is? It's like telling you to sing a cappella with a harmonica your greatest hits. And dude, it's just like an abstract thing. Like, or if I ever did, when I did psychedelics, I was like, people asked me to describe it, and it's like, you're trying to speak in a language you don't understand.
Yeah, you can't describe
like,
it.
It's just like, because like, and that's the other thing. I'll be trying to chime in with my coworkers speaking fluent Spanish, I'll be like, yeah, no hablo. Like that kind of shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a beauty in that though. And it's also like my favorite moments with those people is like if we see something and we both like laugh at it at the same time, like when it transcends. You know what I'm saying? When I'm
it's like objectively funny.
Yeah, we see that chef hit on a waitress and get rejected. It's like, ha ha ha! You loser.
Oh my god! Yeah, I saw
talking to girls.
I was in Boston a couple weeks ago, and I saw somebody try to parallel park in a place that they had plenty of room to parallel park, and they hit the curb, and instead of readjusting and like trying again, they just dipped the fuck out at like 30 miles an hour, just like peeled off.
No, actually, that same thing happened. I went to Rise Brewing Company to go to my buddy's food truck yesterday, and it was all kind of busy and packed, and there was one spot to parallel park in. Plenty of fucking room, by the way, but there was no barrier, and there was a small like fall off into a river next to it. So I'm just sitting there anxious, like I'm with a girl, which of course that doesn't help at all. I have to hit the fucking 30 double like quadruple turn. Then we get out. She's like, "You're leaving the car like this?" I'm like, "You're walking home like this." It's because really, it's parallel parking. It's like really if you had a strong father figure or not. That's really what it comes down to. Is like
that's so funny.
My sister was in Fall River and she had to retake her driver's test. I'm sorry if you're listening to this. I hope you aren't, Ashley. I love you. But like she failed it because she couldn't parallel park, and like in the Massachusetts one you need to parallel park.
Yeah.
And so my dad set up 2 trash cans in the street in front of my house and made her do it like 30 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because like as kids we feel so like kind of unguided, like we're just kind of floating around and shit like that. And like until like we're forced along. Actually, both my parents tried to teach me to drive. Yeah. And both of them failed. Like, you know what I'm saying? My dad would like get angry and be like, "This is life or death, T.
Oh my god.
You do not want to like fucking lock in, bro." And then my mom would try teaching me, and she would snap every time I did something wrong, or if I was like not slowing down quick enough at the stop sign. And so that's how they got me a driver teacher that would pick me up when I was high. And
I have a rough relationship with driving too.
Oh, dude.
But my mom is like, she's like hyper anxious. So like when I drive, like if she sees the car in front of me put their brake lights on and I don't immediately hit the brake, she pulls one of those. She grabs the seat like. It's like there's 45 feet between me and the other car. Like I'm going to brake in time. Like my eyes work as well as
exactly. What is it about anxiety that we make worst case scenarios all the fucking time? You know what I'm saying? Or because I'd rather be driving because I won't let other people down. But when I'm in the passenger seat with some girls, I feel like if I grab, that little handle above the fucking door. Yeah. You grab that, like, holy fuck. Yeah, fuck those curbs, babe. I don't care. It's all good.
I just go, whoa.
But then they're laughing at me, fearing for my life because it's like, you want to die?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, people are crazy drivers.
And driving is also the most inherently American thing, I feel like, because like we get a big fat loan on a cool car. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the ultimate expression of individuality.
Trying to get everywhere as quick as physically possible, the whole build another lane, build another lane, build another lane.
Trust me, have you gone to like Middletown, Newport, like Aquidneck Island?
I've been there, but I haven't driven myself there.
Actually, when I had that driving teacher, it was the only time, you know how they have a brake on the side of the driver's, like the passenger side of the driver teacher car? Yeah. He had to slam that bitch one time. Oh my God. And it was on East Main Road.
That's going to be terrifying.
In Middletown, Rhode Island, because there's a big ass curb. Yeah, we talk about us being scared with people with their licenses. Imagine, because like you ask him and he's like, yeah, there's some fucked up shit I go through.
Oh my God.
That's such a weird job to have. I talked to that dude about vinyl records way back then. I've been collecting since I was 16. You got a better collection than me, though. I'm kind of jealous because I'm kind of falling into like, I've got a bunch of classic rock people gave to me that I'm not afraid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't get rid of.
That was how all of that started, was like all of my aunts and uncles and stuff gave me all their classic rock, and I kind of filled in the gaps and then started buying a bunch of like jazz and rock. And
again, that's the fun of it though, is you kind of make an incarnation where it's like, okay, the next generation, they're gonna get handed down these 50 King Gizzard records. They're gonna know. They're gonna be like, oh wait,
dude, it's kind of crazy.
Uncle Harry was cool.
Yeah, like that big live box set when I bought it was like, it was like $200. This was back when I was like living with my parents and I had no bills or
the best.
Yeah, complete financial freedom.
Yep. And actually, it's a weird question, but why'd you leave your parents' house? Where'd you grow up initially? Like,
that's a whole long thing.
do you want to hold back? Save it for the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I lived in like 10 different towns over the course of my life because my parents had me really young and they divorced really early. So they all
so
they rented all over the place for like most of my life.
Yeah, because I lived in the same house for 29 years.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my friends here are kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like they're stable, but it's also... You get like a much richer experience and you learn how to like... I knew a lot of Navy kids growing up and it was just kind of like, they're like, these are my friends for a year and then I'm shipping off and like, we'll say we'll keep in touch.
It definitely helps round you out. Like just being exposed to like different places and like slightly different cultures. Like even though it's like all kind of been relatively like suburban towns in the same area of like, you know, south of Boston.
Yeah. A Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
It's like and it's still like these places are very different, like town to town and attitude to attitude, and
and it's also kind of like I feel like people get weirder if you can let them like sit and ferment in somewhere for too long because they have like there's no one to kind of call them on their shit.
They get wrapped up in their own little world. Yeah,
like someone told me that like Barrington's full of like people that are like super. Like, I don't want to get political. They say they're super blue and they're super, like, BLM, but they've never seen a black person before. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, and at the same time, they'll make someone uncomfortable more because, like, it's a common trope.
Yeah,
in all,
can
like,
I touch
TV
your
and
hair?
Media. They're like, oh, my gosh, I believe you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people want to be taken as the individual they are. They don't want you to be like, I empower you. You are seen right now.
Yeah.
I was at the rally.
Just like talk to people like they're people.
Like literally talk to like, yo, what you want? What you want from McDonald's? Like that kind of Oh, yeah. All right. Favorite fast food place?
Oh, I think Wendy's.
Wendy's.
Yeah.
Did you try the Cajun crispy sandwich yet? It's the new thing they got going.
I haven't been there in a while because there's not one like around like close.
Their breakfast low key buzz.
Like a
lot of people.
My first job that I ever worked, the only place that we had time to go to for our lunch break was Wendy's. So the guy at the counter like knew my name.
Oh yeah,
and that's when you know that it's like you're going to Wendy's too much.
Being a regular somewhere is the most gratifying thing as a human being. Like,
but not Wendy's.
They're like, hey, 10-piece, what's good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, that was back in the glory days of the 4 for $4. That was like when you
biggie bag where
you would go in and get a 4 for $4, and it was actually really fucking good. Yeah, and like warm and like
and it sustains you.
And it was like $4. Yeah.
Also, like I hate the app culture. I hate like having an app.
Everyone's like, you got to order from the app,
and then you get a deal, and they're also tracking all of the things you watch on your phone.
In order, yeah.
And the other thing is like I ordered Taco Bell on the Taco Bell app. And I feel like they fucked up my food on purpose. So I was like, okay, guys, sorry. I'm like, I want to go up to the drive-thru worker and be like, hey, man, what can I do to make you not fuck up my food? Like, am I not nice to you?
One time I got Taco Bell and they were out of meat and they didn't tell us and they just made the taco with lettuce and cheese. Happened to me too.
That's a low-key flex they do sometimes. It's crazy.
It's like, why even bother at that point? Like, just close.
All right, I'm going to close on my dumb story about fast food.
Oh, yeah,
one of the first bits no, it's like... So I was like peak stoner degenerate, just high all the time.
Yeah.
And I went through the McDonald's drive-thru and my card got declined. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Rough.
And she was like, do you have another way to pay? And I was just like, no. And I just stared at her and this sweaty, tired woman just gave me my food for free.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, this is a victory. I'm high. I'm eating.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's such a nice thing. I wonder what other places. And so I went to every fast food place on the island and they swiped my declined credit card and they all gave me free food. And that is why I'm going to fucking hell. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's not like you were pretending to be broke.
Yeah, no, I was actively like, you know what I'm saying? And we're not ordering like
you just
$30
found a glitch in the system.
Food, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Infinite money glitch, human kindness.
There's like one homeless guy listening to this. Like, all I need is a declined credit card. This whole time, that's all I needed was a bum card.
Yeah, that's the hack of like, oh, you don't need money. You need a non-offensive way to show that you don't have money. Or it kind of reminds me of people say, there's free food if you just walk in and say you're DoorDash.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
I love those videos that are like, can I get like 200 fucking hamburgers
For the homeless. Yeah.
for the homeless?
Yeah.
And it's like, they've got a camera in your face and you're
exactly.
like, yeah, you can have it for free.
Yeah, it's like forced human kindness, the best kind. And okay, I will let you go home to your girlfriend now. Thank you for doing the interview. Check out Harrington.wav on SoundCloud, and I'll try and like figure out how to download it illegally and put it on the end of this podcast, so maybe they can listen to it.
Cool. I can also send you the file if you want.
Oh yeah, that works.
Yeah.
We'll exchange emails after this. And my bad, this thing's dying. That's why I'm cutting.
Okay, cool.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Why do I do the same things every day? So what you accomplish, I can't say. Where have all the hours gone away? And when they're gone,